Hi, everybody. How's it going? How's your Wednesday? Been actually a pretty nice, quiet morning around here. Stranger things have happened, huh? I mean, the wonders never cease, maybe is what I mean. I'm also very much looking forward to a couple of days off. Love you guys, but it's been a trip lately. Today's video was sort of a return to form for me, but I'm also thinking, based on how Friday's video did, because Friday's video was my biggest video ever by a bit. So, um, and I started the channel with the idea that I would cover feminist stories in the news, give my take on them and whatever, because that sounds like interesting to me anyway. So, speaking as basically an average middle-aged lady, because there just aren't a whole lot of. Oh, that was funny. Somebody popped in just in time to hear me say that and then left. And that's my point. See, average middle-aged ladies don't have like a large voice in the community, in the culture, in the discourse, and whatever you want to call it. So that was my other thought. Is it that sucks? And certainly for me personally, is discouraging. Which maybe that's the point. Now I think on it, but back in the day, I was so much more hopeful and optimistic about the whole idea. And gosh, that was at least 10 years ago now when I started the blog and all that. But anyway, um, covering more news stories. The difficulty therein is that like Google feminist news stories or feminist news, right? And you get various sites that I don't trust for one reason or another. Not even like Feminist Current, which Megan Murphy has her own bias and whatever, and that's fine. I don't want to rely on that, obviously. That's what up, Philological. Did you see Belle? What up, Belle? I don't know why I do that. It's so much easier to say. I don't know why. Anyway, how you doing? Did you finish it? Did you? Did you? And did you watch the video? It was a little, it was a little duller, I think, than the last one, but it was returned to form for me. And like I say, I'm gonna cover more news stories, but finding appropriate ones. I mean, obviously, the one out of Australia. You did. Awesome. And you watched the video. Oh man, you're just batting 1,000 this week. All right, killer. What'd you think? Yesterday morning. Congrats! Oh, congrats! That's great. I bet that feels wonderful. Yeah. So obviously the Sal Grover thing, the tickle giggle thing, out of that case, out of Australia is an obvious gimme as far as feminist news coverage, right? I'm gonna be real. It went in one ear and out the other. I'm not doing complex. You know what? That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah. Thanks for the view, anyways. I can't argue with that. I can't. Like you just did so much. Like I don't have a PhD. I can't even. I can only imagine what all that entails. So I do know a couple of people with PhDs besides yourself. Um, the kind of people I just sort of float next to, like organically, socially in life. I wonder if maybe I am not a vast underachiever. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that woman's voice sounded like she was always on the verge of tears. Yeah, there is something up with her voice to the point where, like, I do a rewatch after the premiere just for luck. And I muted it because I'm so tired of hearing her. I'm not going to do her again. I just thought that okay. The basic foundation of why I did this one is because at the beginning, she excludes red pillars and MGTOWs from the men's rights movement because they are not concerned about the right things. And then she goes on to complain about the women's movement having a bunch of different issues and not being able to agree what's going on. I'm like, yeah, your movement looks coherent because you excluded most of them. It feels weird actually. Yesterday I basically cried for a few hours solid on and off. Oh my gosh. That's a weird selective bias. Yeah, and it's so blatant. It's so blatant. And I did mention last week how I would be interested to cover an anti-feminist who doesn't rely on, citing the Bible for the basis of their anti-feminism. So, there's that little curiosity. Why were you crying? Are you okay? And I am genuinely curious what motivates somebody to be against feminism, like overall, you know, besides believing that women are supposed to submit to men because Jesus said, or whatever. If you missed my question on your last stream, oh, hey, Amanda. Good afternoon. Oh, boy. It's spicy in here today. If you actually believe that mainstream feminism sucks, why would you spend so much? Oh, I didn't miss it. Thank you for coming and talking to me. Like people do. If you actually believe the mainstream feminism sucks, why would you spend so much energy defending feminism as a whole instead of sorting out the abusive misanders that give it a bad name? Something along the lines of the wolf you feed. Okay. Something along the lines of it isn't my job to go around correcting individuals' behavior. Right? Something along the lines of leading by example. Okay. Yeah, I would have that conversation. Okay, just that's pretty much it. I'm trying to be, focus on being productive and positive instead of just going around criticizing other people. No, and you phrased it well. In that one video of mine that you did watch about how I'm trying to sort of take the message back, yeah. By creating a better one, okay? By offering an alternative interpretation of some of these things. I would have no problem. You have no problem criticizing men, though. What up, Joe? Well, okay. Critiquing the arguments of individuals is part of what I do. Today's video featured a woman. Oh, sorry, Joe. Yeah. Sorry, Joe. It's spicy in here today. And it's really patriarchy in general that I criticize, as a system that benefits very few men. And as I mentioned in today's video, dehumanizes most men. The ideal man is supposed to be strong and stoic and a breadwinner and all that stuff. And so it discourages them from forming deep emotional bonds with the people in their lives, which encourages disposability both in their minds and other people's. And it's this whole, that's why they have a lot of the psychological problems that they do, is because of their own ideals. And that's what I'm criticizing. And yeah, people who adhere to those ideals, I'm going to have some words about what they have to say too. But on the other hand, I do try not to just go insulting people, just calling names. That's not contributing anything, is it? We try to talk women into aborting their male. Oh, there you go. Molesting the psychology field terminology. Speak on the minds of men. What makes you qualified? Observation mainly. and an embarrassing amount of research. Not like that doesn't mean I've like slept with a bunch of men. I mean, I have read a whole lot of that stuff. Like, I understand that you're biased against psychology overall because you think it's like, what has that been about? I don't remember. I don't think it was you who said this or one of your guests that said it. I think about psychology is no, maybe that was you. Psychology is being used to spread feminism, right? Which like I don't know. If you read Sigmund Freud, that makes me chuckle. That's funny. Yes. Okay. Right. So that idea is chuckle worthy to me. Molesting the psychology field terminology. There is a sentence I never thought I'd read. Yeah, we went over this last time. I think that caught your attention last time she said it too. We tried to talk women into aborting their male fetuses, and you can't stop us because we will never run out of coat hangers. Ha 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 ha. Hail Satan. I did not do that. I'm, not like a proponent of abortion, but I think it should be your fucking decision. It's none of my goddamn business. Really? Okay. That's between you and whoever you want to have that conversation with. Probably not me. I also do not really hail Satan, but that's speaking for myself. Okay. My opinion is the only people who actually worship Satan are angry Christians. Because really, Christians are the only ones who believe in Satan. Just a wild thought. So, what about this concept of penis envy? It sounds archaic, but I have encountered this anew, I swear. It used to be like considered sort of, archaic and discredited, but I have encountered this. The idea that women desire a penis. And that's truth. Well, oh, the irony. Yeah, right? Oh, the irony. The world is thick with it, is it not? Mm. Why would you be jealous that your junk was hanging out all over the place? And I've come to the conclusion that it must be terrifically distracting to have that thing swinging in the breeze like that. You know, I've said this before, and I think that it affects their outlook on life. I do. Physiological differences affect your experience of the world. Ooh, not such a crazy notion. Right? No, but it's the second stage or the third stage of development where girls are supposed to notice that we don't have a penis and freak out, which apparently Freud was so preoccupied with his member that he could not or did not want to imagine life without it, uh, and assumed that everyone else felt that way. You know, never happens. No, I know. And then I guess we all conveniently block it out, right? Oh, but it gets even better. It gets even better. So, the castration complex, right? The fear of emasculation is supposed to be the root of all moral thought. Like all your feelings of right and wrong are supposed to come back to the fear of doing something wrong and getting yourself castrated, which of course women don't have that, which is why women are just little soft brains, you know, with no morals because we don't have dicks. It's so fact though, isn't that beautiful? Mwah. But yeah, psychology pushes feminism. Okay. Castration anxiety equal magic balls theory. What is that? Oh, I've never heard that. I've never heard it put that way. What's that? Little soft brains with no morals. Damn, I really have become a woman. That's literally me right now. No. You just you're a mush brain because you just finished your PhD thesis, which surely is like the antithesis of that. I don't know. We've only ever been jealous of the power that men have had to wield over their. You're right. The penis. I don't think we probably came up with this. They used the penis as a symbol of power. Hello. And I love that, you know, Mr. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Couldn't see the symbolism there. That perhaps he was encountering some sort of unconscious symbolism. Hello, Mr. Like you invented that idea. What the magic dick balls theory is a joking term I came up with. Though dope if others use it up to too. So like is it that thing where they use it like a divining rod where like everything that makes their penis happy is good and if it makes their penis sad it's bad? Is it that? Because that's funny. Pretty much. Right on. Hmm. Although I feel like if you say somebody has a magic penis, it sounds like something else. Maybe that's just me. No. But yeah, no, it's always actually fascinated me how he managed to twist it around, like, and to rationalize his own feelings about his own, you know, and project that onto not only all other men, but women too. Mm-mm. And the lady who first came along and really challenged him was a woman called Dr. Horny. I remember I forget her first name, but what a great name, right? Dr. Horny is the one who I believe first came up with the idea of womb envy. If anyone's familiar with that, as a bit of a riposte to the whole penis envy thing. Because they are nothing without their heirs, right? And they can't have heirs without women, which is sort of excuse me, exposes the lie of all their aspirations of power and authority and glory and legacy and blah 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 blah, and being in charge of everything. That can never actually be true. To be honest, womb theory never seemed to me like it was ever going to be much smarter than its inspiration. See, I don't. It fills a gap, a much needed gap, which is why exactly are men so damn insecure? Like if you fear someone, you try to weaken them every opportunity you get. Like that's what that is. That's what that looks like. Why? What the fuck are they so worried about? Why is everything that's associated with femininity like, ooh, kryptonite to the masculine? Like, what is that? Why do they feel this need to be superior? Like, I don't know. I caught some dude in something unrelated today. I may make a short out of this. I caught some dude today referring to elements. Again, unrelated. It's unrelated, but he said that these elements also have an identity. That when you separate, theoretically, philosophically, when you separate wholes down into their individual parts, each one of those parts also has its own identity because there's a hierarchy there too. And I sat back and I went, wait, what? Being in a hierarchy is not what gives you your identity. Wait a minute. Because the other man that he was talking to just sat there and went, yeah. Wait, what? What is this now? Uh, this preoccupation with hierarchy, okay? Maybe that's part of it too, is what I'm saying. But I have long been seeking an explanation for this preoccupation with oppressing women I don't like getting one over on us and like taking advantage of us and being entitled to use and abuse and discard. I don't, to the point where it's been encoded in law. Like, do women behave badly too? Yeah, whatever. But when the fuck was the last society where it was encoded in law that women could have however many husbands and divorce their wife if they want? Like, men have had so many more historical freedoms in that regard. It's just why when I see somebody like the Prim Reaper, I just look at her and I go, "What planet do you live on? What universe is this?" You so out of touch with reality. But so womb theory fills that gap for me in a big way, and I'm not. I have found a couple other suspects, but it's really just it's a big burning question for me, and I would argue for feminism generally is what the hell is men's problem? Why are they so insecure? Why is masculinity so insecure? To the point where when women actually get their hands on anything, men withdraw from it, right? Or like if men want to do something, they have to drive us away. Like, what is that? They have to make things a boys' club. What up, Kelly? How you doing? Was busy watching the video. Did you like it? It was a bit kind of back to my normal thing. I do need to cover more news stories, though. Obviously, Friday's video did amazingly well. How was the week treating you? I thought it was well done again. Oh, thank you. I said something last week about wanting to dig up, an anti-feminist who wasn't blaming Jesus for everything. So went and did that. And I don't say this. I haven't said this historically much. I should probably say it more. Please do share the videos around to wherever and anybody you might who might enjoy them. Because we're trying to get this thing off the ground. Like, Friday's video was very encouraging. I don't expect this one to do as well, obviously, because it's not immediately topical and it doesn't have any big names in it the way the other one did. But well, she's wrong about custody, at least in my state. It's automatic 50-50. These men don't have custody. It's generally their fault. Nice. Nice. I didn't even know that was a possibility. But like, I don't even need to challenge her on any of those points, really. Because my underlying question is, why is that your problem? As a woman, why are men's issues your issues over your own? Because she's not even aware of what they are. That's what that whole video was about. And I love how she said red pillars don't care about custody and whatever. Like, that's not true. That's not true at all. They definitely do. They have their own fun little term for it that I'm not going to say because I hate it. They liken it to a completely different form violation, which is a whole lot less avoidable in a lot of circumstances and much more immediately traumatizing. I know that argument just annoys me because it's generally untrue. Yeah, no. Oh no, we're not like those other guys. It's not like other guys. I mean, obviously she's not like other girls. Like the whole video is very, very not like other girls, right? Because feminism is just so stupid and confusing. You did not look into it. You did not. You did not sufficiently look into this topic. She's basically going on vibes. So, you guys have any suggestions for next week's video? I am all ears. Because honestly, Prem came out of the blue the other day and was the perfect follow up and palate cleanser, I think, from some of that stuff in the last month. And, I'm looking forward to moving on to greener pastures. I mean, obviously, I'm going to still make fun of red pillars and annoying liberals and crazy conservatives. You know. And I have a couple of things on my playlist waiting to be looked at. So, a couple of things I might throw in the pot, if you know what I mean. Looks like everybody stepped out for a minute except you and me, Kelly. Have you ever checked out Irene Brit USA? I usually enjoy her stuff. Yeah, I have. Uh, she strikes me as a bit more conservative. Still here, I'm just vibing because I don't have thoughts. All right, on. This silly little thing says there's one person here. If it's wrong, that's cool. Wouldn't be the first time. Um, I know. I feel like I'm talking too much. Oh no, no, not at all. That's what this is for us to hang out and chat. Um, yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was that struck me about her. Yeah, but she's good on the gender critical feminism stuff, and I think her feminism is genuine. Yeah, right. No, I believe I subscribed to that channel because when it comes there's stuff coming down the pike, and there's been stuff in the past that I really did want other similar opinions on, to kind of gauge, am I alone in this? So she's one of several who I do sort of keep up with a little bit, just to kind of keep a feel for what's going on. You're listening to Joe? Okay, cool. This thing is lying to me. Right on. um but so also I've had to spend a lot of time lately where I get to listen to people I disagree with. I've had to do a lot of that lately, like a lot. Looking for, things and, gosh, those Tammy Peterson videos absolutely did not do well. And I spent that interview was 2 hours long. It's a good experience though, I'll tell you what. Oh, and I'm looking for my next meaty bone to bite into. And honestly, I don't think there's much more to those anti-feminists, like it's either internalized misogyny causing them to dismiss the idea out of hand, or it's, conservative, fundamentalist religion causing them to dismiss the idea out of hand. Which almost amounts to maybe the same thing anyway. So, like two flavors of the same thing. Religious versus secular. I don't know. I think the red pillars are more fun to argue with too. They're so self assured, and the bravado is just so fun to poke holes in. And like, um, if I'm going to piss off any group of people, if I'm going to have a group of people out there who are angry at me, let it be them, right? Really, let it be professional misogynists, right? So I have a couple of them, on my list too to look at. And oh my gosh, Belle, you recommended something, and I still haven't managed to get to that. I wrote it down, and I still haven't managed to get to it. It's been such a time, y'all. Does anybody else have this? Uh, where you're just going at full speed for maybe a little too long, to the point where when you finally get to relax and slow down again, yeah, have trouble getting going again after that a little bit. Donovan, Buck Wild. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am gonna look at that. I am. Oh, I absolutely am. Like, that might be. Maybe I need to write that down again so I actually remember to do that, because that could be good. I'm looking for something like that for next week. Do. Yeah, I could never relate to that. No idea what you're talking about. You're right. So that's been this week, which is one of the reasons I just kind of went with Prim, because she was a nice return to form for me. That was very, very nice to get to sit down and kind of return to my normal thing that I was doing, which is arguing with bad takes on feminism. The proof is in the pudding, and I certainly don't necessarily trust this just because somebody calls themselves a feminist, that they necessarily are one, or that they really understand, what I would consider that to mean. On the other hand, I did say in this video too, it's a large tent. Of course, it's a large tent. And this is one of the things that actually did really kind of rub me the wrong way about Prim. Is she pissed on intersectionality, which, like, I'm not going to sit and, like, one way or another, the idea that women have many different identities is inevitable, because we do. We are half the planet, which makes like, what, 3.5 billion of us or something like that. All races, all walks of life. Yeah. So, yeah, obviously we're gonna need to take that into account, and that's part of that's a big part of the reason feminism is so diverse. And you're never gonna put a cap on that. You're never gonna. I mentioned party platforms, right? The idea that there might be, really, because if you think about it, feminism is more like politics as a whole. So you can have Democrats and Republicans, and you don't get to sit back and go, "Oh, well, nobody can even agree on politics and what politics is, so it's all a bunch of nonsense." Gosh, I wish I thought of that metaphor. I wish I continued that metaphor in my That's all right. Right? Did you see what the Taliban is doing to the? A little bit, a little bit. And she mentioned something about how, at least in the West, girls have guaranteed genital integrity at birth. I'm like, oh, you mean circumcision? Yeah. We do generally not get circumcised as females in the West. She just sort of alludes to that. Like, it's window dressing or something. It's nasty. That's been on your mind a bit? Yeah. It's never far from my mind. I don't know what to do or talk about. I mean, what is there to say? I feel absolutely powerless to do anything about that kind of shit. So I'm trying to bolster things up from my end. And that's what I was saying to Amanda earlier. I don't know if you're still here, but that's what I was saying earlier. Is that rather than criticizing stuff, especially stuff like that number one, duh, horrible. How awful. How fucking awful is all of that? Duh, no, obviously. Of course. Number two, I live on the other side of the world. And it feels arrogant to me to try to really comment further than that. But I try to. So I'm trying to bolster things up on my end from where I can, philosophically, politically, and whatnot. Normal not to be. I got circumcised. I didn't have any autonomy. Yeah, no. And for what it is, for what it's worth, I object to that. Law, my son isn't circumcised, and it's totally becoming normal. But there's no real complications from circumcision. Normal not to be circumcised. Right. I'm not going to speak for mine because they occasionally, I don't want to, I try to keep them out of my stuff specifically as much as possible. But suffice it to say, I don't support that practice for that reason. I wouldn't do it to a girl. I wouldn't do it to a boy. And anyway, how barbaric. So I'm sorry, Caleb. That's a legit concern. I'm not saying men have no legit concerns. Patriarchy is responsible for most of them, not feminism. I am Swiss. None of the men or boys in my family have ever been circumcised. Yep. Yeah, but comparing female genital mutilation to male circumcision isn't an apt comparison. Okay, true. It mostly was the norm to keep infection away. No, I know. It is even worse. It is. Because you have to, as we were talking about earlier, they're not exactly as available, female genitals, are they? But that really aggravated me when she alluded to it like that. And then wouldn't even use the word. That's got to be some kind of MRA buzz phrase, guaranteed genital integrity. Right? That's a really fun, fancy way of saying uncircumcised. Right. They do it with scissors and no anesthesia. Yeah. I am not in favor of it. Okay. Not in it for anyone. I don't understand how barbaric, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to stop. And the idea that even women are not guaranteed that all over the world, apparently in her mind, is not a reason for feminism. And I said that too, right? How it's a necessity for some because their lives are that sounds kind of hellish, you know. Feminism would be the set of ideas that you use to argue against that shit. Because why the fuck is anyone doing that stuff in the first place other than some toxic ideas? So to my mind, that is my way of combating that stuff. Is trying to offer a coherent interpretation of feminism. We don't know what kind of long-term psychological effects circumcision may have on men. That's true. That's true. It's I'm not in favor of it. It's a legit concern. I'm not saying men don't have legit concerns. You know. But the fact that they do have legit concerns with the current system, to my mind, only backs up feminism. And one assumes that going through something like that would be not great for you. Psychologically, anyway. Definitely decreases their sexual sensitivity, which may make them more prone to sexual violence, studies are starting to show. Oh, God. Oh my God, that's so horrifying. Well, I mean, if one of your earliest experiences in life is literally an act of sexual violence, yeah, I can see how that might tint things. I looked it up. At least now anesthesia is applied topically. That's like I said. I didn't circumcise my son, but for an incredibly long time, it was the absolute norm. It doesn't have complications unless botched. Right, but there's complications, and then it doesn't have physical complications. Right, necessarily acknowledge that. Yeah, it wouldn't have been the norm. I feel like if they were not regularly carried out without a lot of complications, I don't think it would become the norm. I think not judging another society for horrible acts is racist. You're putting other cultures at a lower level of expectations. Yeah. Yeah. What do they call that? Um the something of lowered expectations. The shit. There's a saying for that. I can't quite remember it. I think the biggest problem is boys making fun of each other in the locker room. Yeah. Yeah. It's their own ideals that are the problem. Because if the fathers taught their sons that it's wrong to do that, then it wouldn't happen so much. If they had health reasons for it, for making fun of each other in the locker room. For circumcision. Yeah. Like as a tradition, okay, fine, it's existed. Maybe it shouldn't be for. Maybe it doesn't need to be for everybody. And here's a crazy thought: you don't have to do it when they're an infant. It is something that can be done at any point in a man's life. Okay. So if he gets older and he has problems, he can have it done then. If he gets older and decides he wants it done, he can have it done then. Crazy thought, I know. Right. Before I knew boys who weren't made of fun of, now it's the opposite. Mm. So no, it's that pecking order thing. It's that preoccupation with hierarchy because apparently hierarchy imbues identity. I'm sorry, I'm late to that party. You have to be in a hierarchy to have an identity? That's news to me. Fucking hell. Explains a whole lot though. Like I'm gonna have to noodle that one for a while. That one. So in order to create a pecking order, you have to peck at one another. Let's see who's stronger and who's weaker and all that stuff. You know? And you know what? I feel like men have said plenty about women as a whole, right? I have read so many observations by men about women in general, and some of it is obviously extraordinarily misguided, right? And clearly, like sometimes this stuff comes up, like these old newspaper op-eds and stuff will come up in like historical pieces, video essays because they're so obviously just sexist as hell. Obviously, that's not what I'm trying to do. But on the other hand, those dudes felt totally entitled to say that shit and publish it in magazines and stuff. So, you know what? I get to have an opinion on men. I do. I get to have an opinion. I get to have opinions. Yeah. I've known a few. So, I wish more women felt that way, that we are just as entitled to have our opinions about them as they are about us. Frankly, I think that would take some of the vitriol out of it. Okay. Because a lot of that really vitriolic, rageful, angry stuff kind of feels like a cat, in a corner, like making a lot of noise. Okay. Not to patronize them or anything. I get it. We feel very insecure uh, in a lot of our feelings about stuff. It's the whole patriarchy, internalized misogyny thing. But so I wish that we could try to work through that. We are just as entitled to opinions about them as they are about us, and we don't need to be so vitriolic about it. We can just have them and express them. That's what I try to do. Oh, I have a million opinions on men. Yeah. Of course you do. Of course you do. Of course you do. And you're entitled to them, and you should feel free to express them without necessarily needing to be aggressive about it. Right? Of course, a lot of things that feminists say and do is interpreted as man hating when it is not. Which is a point I should have made in the misandries and feminism video. I suppose I could do a part two. Here's a crazy thought. Hey, geek, what's up? Congratulations on the thesis, Phil. I'm envious of your adventures in Belfast. Yeah, right? Aren't we all? Oh, I mean, Ireland. Ah, maybe someday. Thank you again for your contribution earlier, and congrats on your good news, whatever it is. You didn't say specifically what it is, but maybe you'll be getting to relocate or adjust your arrangements soon. So it sounds like it would be a good thing for you. It is a nice day. What do you think about that Christian teacher getting arrested in Ireland, Bill? Ooh, I didn't hear about that. Yeah, good question. Did you hear about that? I don't know. Belle is sort of fried from having finished the thesis, and it's absolutely relatable. What was the one? Was that the one for allegedly not using a student's preferred pronouns? Ooh, spicy. Wouldn't use pronouns or something like that. Ooh. That's so strange. How Ireland is very conservative and Catholic on the one hand, is what I get. Just culturally, and on the other hand, damn ad deleted my chat in progress. I'm sorry. England is conservative and Catholic? I don't know about that. Conservative, yeah. I don't know about Catholic. Oh, I mean, if it's real, I don't think he should be arrested for not using preferred pronouns. That's a bit concerning. Bit concerning? That's literally what we've been warning people about for a decade. I'm fried, but a friend sent me an article about it. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Ear to the ground. Always your ear to the ground, yeah. I was just like, this is bad. She started reading at me. I didn't respond. Ooh. In Canada as well. Yeah, we're all supposed to just be in a mass collision together. Yeah. Okay. No, but what I'm saying specifically about Ireland is that I get on the one hand, they're very culturally conservative, religiously conservative. And on the other hand, they're all over this. I don't know what to call it besides woke stuff. I don't know what to call it. I don't know a better term for that. I hate using that word. From my understanding, Ireland has like swung massively in a lot of ways because they lost faith in the Catholic Church precipitously. I saw it too. Europe is going anti-free speech. Wow. Like divorce was illegal in Ireland until 1995. Right, yeah. And abortion was until very recently too. There are people losing their children in the United States in custody battles because of not using the right pronoun. Oh, I'm sure. No, and that's part of the reason I don't necessarily cover like these news stories is because that kind of stuff just goes on and on and on. Okay. And it's all variations on the same theme and it's all horrifying. Even in red states. Nice, nice, nice. And it's all very scary. But I feel like it would get repetitive very quickly to try and cover all that stuff. To try and cover that stuff. Right? I feel like that would get repetitive very quickly. Ugh. I suppose one or two of them would not be a bad idea. Just so horrifying. Yeah, to be honest, I can't be bothered with the news, and I think most healthy people should be the same. Well, like, I made an exception for the Sal Grover story because, wow, that one's a big whoop de doo. That's just a big deal, you know? And that's the kind of thing that I definitely do want to cover, you know? And like I saw Menaho was doing an interview with her, so that should be cool. Oh, to be anywhere near as big as his channel is, right? I know the audience is out there. I know y'all are just, you know, we're just little, our little corner over here, and we're developing something good. And I'm looking forward to sort of busting out. I feel like, does that make sense? That's because politicians in red states are invested in big pharma too. Oh god. Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. Oh yeah. Why don't you just do the Alberta one next week? Well, it's family judges. Hmm. Okay, that seems less like a pharma explanation. Then I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. That's weird. Just do the Alberta one next week. What's that? What do you mean by the Alberta one? You get a judge who believes this crap, they'll bleed into it. Oh yeah, but what's their angle? I guess is it just because they want to look like good, tolerant, kind people as a judge? That seems like a strange motivator for a judge. Passing judgment is literally their job. So the idea that they're trying to not look judgmental seems a bit off brand. So if it's not virtue signaling and it's not big pharma, why on earth? Maybe they're just not scientists and they actually just believe the whole born in the wrong body narrative. I don't know. Sorry, the teacher getting fired. Oh. Was that in Canada or Ireland? Is there an Alberta, Ireland? I think they just bought into it. That's weird. You will be cutting edge soon enough. Thank you. Thank you. As I've said before, please share the videos around. I'm going to start saying that more often, I guess, because I am only one person. I can only do so much. And you guys are truly what's keeping me going, what has kept me going sometimes. So truly. So thank you so much. Can you agree? Thank you. We just need that one big one, you know. We just need one to hit real good. And I think it'll take off. My pie in the sky goal, I've said this before, is 10,000 subs. And King Critical recently achieved that. So I don't know how many subs Menno has. I don't know. I don't really, keep track of it like that. I just happened to see that he achieved my goal, and I was all, oh my god. So it's possible, is what I'm hearing. Nice. Sounds great, right? Good news. Good news all around. I think Menno is lower, but J.K. Rowling watches him. Nice. See, that guy's connected because he goes out and hobnobs with everybody at like every rally and every march, and he goes to like everything. Clearly a very extroverted guy, right? So that's his strategy, and good on him. You know, he's hilarious. That too. That helps too. And quite frankly, I do appreciate that there are men out there who understand this stuff too. It demonstrates, for one thing, that it's not anti-man. It's not even anti-straight man. He doesn't demonstrate that, but I don't know. It's. Have you considered doing anything on Magdalene Burns? Oh, I'm still torn up about that. What an awful thing that was. Oh. No, yeah. Obviously, if we're trying to help the human experiment, being anti-man is antithetical to the whole venture. You have to start from the premise that men are also people. We'll start with the premise anyway. We are, and they are. You are, whatever. It's really, to my mind, foundational to the whole thing. But so then, that whole thing, like weaponized incompetence and whatever. I've said this before, where men are like, yes, we created civilization and conquered the planet and cannot put our socks in the hamper reliably. What is that? No. No. You don't get this, have all this bravado and then turn around and claim to be stupid. Nope. Not going to fly with me. No, sir. So what would I do on Magdalene Burns, Kelly? Other than cry. Whatever, we invented agriculture. I know, right? Uh, and probably animal husbandry too. There was a bad idea. Oh, that may be the closest thing to a literal Pandora's box I can think of. So we gave them ideas. Mm-mm-mm. We didn't have socks for most of history. Interesting. Was that true? I mean, not as such, I guess. I mean, maybe exposing the vileness of the people who claim to be tolerant. Or just a recap of her because I love her even now. Yeah, I do too. I do too. It's so that story is such a sad ending. Oh my god. Exposing the vileness of people who claim to be tolerant. Like, I'm really not aware of this because I'm not British or lesbian, but did the gay community turn on her or something? Scots claim men built everything. I mean, scrotes. Forgetting that women couldn't hold patents or had credit for their inventions and discoveries stolen by men. Right, right. Over and over and over and over and over again. I'm just saying that to have all that bravado and then turn around and claim to be incompetent is uh, contradictory, and I'm not going to accept that. Now, the trans community celebrated her. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's disgusting. I'm sure they had vilified her entirely, you know. Because, yeah, I've definitely seen people celebrate when, like, evil despots are deposed and killed, but, like, that's not what that was. What up, Kitty? How you doing? Did you have a nice trip? Did you catch this morning's video? And do you have any suggestions for next week? Is there anything bubbling that you've seen in the realm of feminism? I know you follow a lot of international stuff, but they celebrated when Hagrid died because he said he didn't think what JK said was a big deal. Ugh, those people give me the willies. You know, like my claim that Gonzalo Lira brought his fate upon himself is not the same as me saying that I'm glad it happened, right? What a thing to say. What a thing to say. It's disgusting. And blatantly antisocial, right? Society should probably frown upon things that are blatantly antisocial. I did. I'm sore though from sleeping on an air mattress for 4 nights. I didn't see your video, just woke up. Okay, okay. Well, you can always let me know what you think. It's sort of a return to form for me. Just getting back into the vibe, into the flow of it, you know. Glad you had a good trip. I don't remember his actual name, but it's crazy that people saying you can't be mean because trans people might die. Let's celebrate the deaths of good people. Yeah. Or even just regular people. That's what I'm saying. It strikes me as ghoulish to be celebratory over the death of anybody but a terrible, terrible, destructive, nasty, awful person who hurt many other people. Um, but to just take your average person and be, celebrating, especially when you don't even know them, that's weird. That's ghoulish and creepy and Ugh. So, I don't think those people are, what you call, sane. Yeah. There's this 2-hour video celebrating the death of Magdalene Burns. That really pissed me off. Is that new? Are we at the anniversary of her death or something? That she's sort of around again? Ugh, cat. Oh my god. Because Kelly was suggesting I do something on her, and I wish that I could. I would, but what is there to say? What is there to do but cry? It's so sad. People who want to be accepted being completely unacceptable. Yeah. Mm-mm. I wrote it down. I like it. I like it. Some freaking idiot on Twitter said that being mean to a trans woman was the worst sin you could possibly do, and I had recently seen a video by a channel called Runaway Siren. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she makes lots of good stuff. If you don't have any enemies, you're not trying hard enough. Well, I could tick that box off my list. I read most of Beauty and Misogyny by Sheila Jeffries. There's some juicy stuff in there if you had the time to read it. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. One of the things I would love to do is like feminist story hour where I take suggestions like that and I read them out. I like to think I'm decently good at delivering, performing stuff like that. And it would be, educational for me and anybody else who happens to come across it. Oh, girls just trying to shame women for wanting something of their own. Oh. Plight, not flight. Freaking voice typing. Have you read The End of Gender by Dr. Deborah So? The War on Gender, maybe. Oh. Um, I've heard of that one. I have not had time to read an entire book in 10 years. Which sounds fucking terrible. I managed to get about halfway through my copy of A Generation of Psychopaths before I misplaced the book for a while, and then I got out of it. Deborah So believes in gender. Oh. So to her, a war on gender would be a bad thing, not just gender identity. It's pretty good because from a sexologist. It's from a sexologist and neuroscientist. Oh, nice. Or maybe, oh, that title is certainly evocative. It could go a lot of different ways, though. She believes in the classical serology definition: male, female, transgender, and intersex. That's how it is to be used. I disagree that it's good. Okay. She doesn't believe males can become females or anything nuts. Okay. Um See, I think that what the fuck gender is still this very nebulous sort of thing that various people have various takes on. So the idea that you could have like cross gender individuals, the way you have, people who sort of appear one sex and are chromosomally the other, is sort of, yeah, I'm not sure that's how that actually works. I'm not sure that's how that actually works. I think people who have, quote unquote cross gender presentation and personality are just fucking outliers. Okay? And that's okay. I enjoyed it. She describes it as a physical expression of sex. Okay. Not like your phenotype. You mean like an expression like an action and thought? Gender is femininity and masculinity. It's a social hierarchy forced into people based on their biological sex. Right, 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 right. My unfortunate discovery that I was unhappy to make is that some of these things are based in experiential realities, which I think is speaks to why in the fuck they don't seem to want to just go away because we want them to, right? And why all societies across all time seem to have some variation on this idea. And that is like the elephant in the room. That's the gremlin that's getting us into trouble. Is because on the one side, you have people on on one extreme who Deborah believes in innate gender. Okay. And I guess what I'm saying is that what you would call gender, I can accept the idea that that's somehow that there is some innate quality that lends that that is interpreted by culture and society as gender, and we're pushed into these corners. Not really. I think that's a misrepresentation. Okay. Maybe the potential for gender is innate. How about that? I'd say that. Uh, but how that manifests is obviously determined by the culture that you live in. Okay. And I don't know why the idea of outliers here is so both strange to people and difficult for me to articulate. Okay, because I mean, if you think in terms of levels of intelligence, you think in terms of levels of talent in anything, like the Olympics, those are outliers. Those are a bunch of just like way outliers. They are way just the tail end, highest end of athletic ability. Most people will never, ever, ever achieve anything like the abilities of Olympic athletes. They're outliers. They're celebrated. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just what that they're outliers in any group. Okay, any time there's a cluster, there's always going to be exceptions. There's always going to be people who fall outside of that behavioral cluster. Like, yeah, I don't understand why this is such a big. When it comes to gender presentation and that kind of like sex based behavior, I don't know why this is such a difficult pill to swallow. If it's determined by culture, then it's not innate, and we don't live in a democracy. We live in a hierarchy. Yeah. No, it's not, the potential. Okay. I'm so tired, y'all. I'm so sorry. I apologize if I'm not speaking my most coherently. Anyone read Irreversible Damage? I have it, but I haven't read it yet. I would love to. I wish I don't read super quickly. I'm not a very fast reader. Is part of the issue. I am the kind of person who, if I'm really gonna read a book, I'm gonna highlight shit. I'm gonna make notes. Like, To really process this, I have a notebook that goes along with every book I read. Like it's a whole thing. It's determined by those in power. Yeah, no, the shape that these things take in society is, yeah, not arguing with that. I'm not sure what you're saying, Kat. Hmm. I think you guys had two different takes on that book. Well, right, yeah. Which, from where I'm sitting, for my own selfish purposes, is very interesting because I haven't read it at all. So I love getting different perspectives on that. When I finally get around to that kind of stuff, I'm gonna have so many. uh, I explain more, but I gotta go. No hate. Love you, Kelly. Okay, bye, kitty. I'm glad you had a good trip. We'll see you next week. Love you too, Kat. No worries. Awesome. Awesome. Agreeing to disagree is so marvelous. So we just there's so many fights, pointless arguments that get just skipped over. I love it. I think that dog might be trying to get out the door. Belle says, "Have a good week, kitty." Well, it's cool enough here this week. We opened up the house. Back doors open. They can get out. So they want to go out. They will. I'm also I'm jealous of Belle in Belfast. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you're not there yet, are you? When do you go over there? You said. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Geek, I've been having such a blast today. It's unreal. Oh, are you there now? If so, congrats. That's cool. That's cool. I know you said when you were supposed to leave. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I've sworn off men that the brogue is hot. Ha 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 ha. I guess you're not alone in feeling that way. And even a diabetic can look at candy, right? So is Belfast Northern Ireland? I believe so, right? Greengrass, yeah, it's Northern Ireland. Yeah, cool. Which they have their own. They definitely have their own accent there. An Irish man could read a weather report and I'd swoon. Oh, yeah. I feel like you're not alone in that. I have a soft spot for the Scots myself. Mm. Like the further north, the better. It's terrible. My nana was from. I can't read it. Some bay, a bay in Cork. That's cool. An old Irish granny. I love it. What a great idea. What a great image that is. I miss her so much. She was great. Bantry Bay. No. I'm sorry you don't have her anymore. It's wonderful that you did have someone like that in your life, though. So, are you a UK citizen or a dual citizen? Belle, I believe that question is directed at you. Oh, my nose. Always itches so much sitting out here in the midday. For Scottish, watch Leo Critters. Yeah. Oh, as an American, it's refreshing to have a conversation with people who know the difference between a Scottish and an Irish accent. Um, yeah. I'm not gonna say I'm 100%, but I'm pretty good at it. I can tell Aussies from New Zealanders too, most of the time. You Bell trying to you Bell trying to remember how it works in Northern Ireland. Nice. I'm in Illinois, never been outside for one day, except for one day in Tijuana. That's a long way from Illinois, and I bet there's a story there. Oh, I'm from England, but because of the Good Friday Agreement, UK citizens can live in Ireland, Republic, or Northern, and vice versa, indefinitely without visas or anything. That sounds like a big improvement over how it used to be, right? That's cool. I lived in Oregon at the time, and friend flew me down to San Diego. Oh, okay. Nice. Nice. Which is right over the border from Tijuana, right? That's cool. I have not got to travel a whole lot in my life yet either. Um, One of my many goals for the next decade or two. Yeah, I remember being a kid and seeing shit go down in Ireland very young. All that stuff is so scary and sad. Which I feel like saying that is an insult. Like it's all right, I'm back. Hey, I think y'all really have the wrong idea about me, especially in the religious realm. You keep making assumptions instead of actually asking questions. Okay, I have one question. Why then would you cite Revelation to try and discredit feminism? How is that not a religious foundation of an object? Like that's my parents are about to go to England for a family wedding. I'm jealous. Ooh, what part? Yeah, the troubles were awful. And unionists, even worse. Oh boy. It's like a whole culture that prides itself on being annoying. You know, I haven't wanted to say that. But coming from someone who would know, thank you for confirming my suspicions on that one. Because the revelation totally discredits feminism. Duh, it's obvious, right? I admit to having not thoroughly read it. So, make that what you will. I can't remember the town, but on the southwest part of England. Oh my God, Belle. Yeah. I'm sure Belle is joking. I'm sure that was a joke. Yeah. But so I spend a lot of my time on this channel actually engaging with ideas I don't agree with. I didn't do it to discredit feminism. I was speaking specifically to religious people who believe in the words of the Bible. Okay. If you do not, share some of those sympathies, why even entertain that? I'm not really worried about those people. It's a different paradigm, It's a massive paradigm shift that I do not feel responsible for making for other people. It sure sounded to me like you were making that same point that I've seen made other places, that feminism is somehow demonic, I don't know. I'm in my smooth brain era. For all you know, I might have been serious. Well, it was damn funny either way, so not going to convince me at least that it's demonic. No, I know. Even entertaining that idea seriously speaks volumes as to the paradigm you're living in. And as I say, I'm not over here trying to rattle everybody's cage to that extent, okay? If you are living in a world where, Jesus is your Lord and Savior, that's beyond my pay grade. The Bible in general? No, yeah. Not a Christian. I make no bones about that. But so then accordingly, I don't really believe in, the devil at all either. So um, the conversation sort of ends because it's just coming from two completely, I entertain all ideas people have. I'm curious why people believe in specific ideologies. I mean, I enjoy mythology, but it's not convincing me of anything, right? Yeah. Okay, you seem to be coming at feminism from a negative space. Okay, with a negative. Um, you definitely seem to be coming at feminism negatively. So that does put us at cross, like at odds, pretty much. And I believe I heard you say something about, feminism and motherhood don't go together, basically, is your position, which I would also take issue with, obviously. I've said that before, too. And so, it's really just sort of felt like you're trying to dare me to do something, basically, and I just like that's off putting. Okay, that makes me feel like maybe I don't want to. And just to put this out there, I do want to go punctually at 2 o'clock because I am so tired, y'all. So tired. I'm gonna go get me some lunch and have a tiniest little bit of break before I gotta go get little man from school. Hmm. And I don't know what I'm doing for next week yet. But suffice to say, it's gonna be something different than this week. That's what I was starting to say a minute ago. I'm looking forward actually to kind of just seeing what YouTube throws at me in the next couple of days. Now that I've developed a better, I did that. I will say that this last month, or it was 5 weeks actually of the ramped up production, and it taught me a lot. For one thing, I really have to refine what the fuck it was that I'm looking for, as far as things to respond to and talk about, because I had to find a bunch more of them. So now that I get to kind of relax about it a little bit, I'm kind of looking forward to jumping back in and being a little more casual and relaxed about what, just kind of taking in what it gives me and seeing what with my new approach, you know. Yeah, I don't understand feminism and motherhood. All the mothers I know in my life aren't feminists. Haven't come across a single one who will actually have an adult conversation about these things. Well, okay. You're going about that, maybe not the greatest of ways. Because as I say, it has felt like you were trying to get me to like dare me to do something, which does not feel like the most mature way to approach things. Uh, I talk about that a bit. I should talk about it more probably. Um, but the idea that women are full human beings, female ones, that basic foundational approach, idea, belief, whatever you want to call it, should of course be instilled in little kids in children of both sexes from the time they're little. Motherhood is a very powerful force in the shaping of society. Everyone knows this. The idea that it might be wielded for feminism seems so blatantly obvious to me. Okay. Especially since we've succeeded in essentially making motherhood optional. If you do choose to pursue it, then you should you I this is speaking for myself. I find I'm more invested in it therefore because I chose it. Okay. No, I'm a mother and a feminist. Yeah, thank you, right? They don't contradict one another at all. I think a lot of feminism has sort of been taken over by materialist nihilism. Okay? The thing where everything is just chemicals in your brain and nothing means anything anyway. You seem to look at this through an us versus them lens, following through with something you said you were up for would be the most mature. Listen. I am allowed to protect myself And I do not want to fight with you. So, right, you're just being childish yourself. Me. I can say that never happens. But no, actually, in this case, I am attempting to prevent myself from behaving in, trying not to get dragged into something. Like stalking and arguing with people. Yeah, right, thank you. Or just because you don't agree with them. Yeah, no. I know, I'm just playing around. Because I'm not so insecure as to claim that I am the most mature person that ever. No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. I recognize the, danger of myself getting sucked into a situation where I might behave in ways that I don't want to. Cali Greengrass, not people, mostly just Rad Mom, it seems. Yeah. Let's see. You're talking to a mother. Odds are she's an adult, so you're just infantilizing women you disagree with. Ooh. I like that one. Which I also try not to do. I do check myself, though, for this kind of stuff. That is a part of the ongoing work of analyzing your own internalized patriarchal nonsense. This is an ongoing, lifelong project, okay, that I am still engaged in to this day, to this moment. Right, Bill, the hyperfixation on one person and continuous demanding of answers is just a temper tantrum, isn't it? Which I don't quite understand, to be honest. I don't quite understand what exactly. Why? I don't understand. It's all right. If you are afraid of a conversation, that's fine. I'm not looking to fight with anyone. I just have a lot of questions that always get left unanswered by women who identify as feminists. Nobody is afraid of you. More childish demands. Yeah. Right. I am not afraid to talk to you. I am talking to you right now. And you are free to come and talk to us. Or leave comments or, whatever. Just like everybody else. How can you not see how immature you're being? Yeah, I don't know. You know how I was saying earlier about how there are outliers in every category? Well, some people have a higher level of self awareness, I think, just organically than other people do. Self awareness is more of a struggle for some than others. You know, 'tis life. Free to talk to us. Don't encourage her. She'll tag me and Joe and Kitty and some bullshit again. This really isn't the place for detailed conversation when barely one sentence fits. Hmm. If you can't seem to control your own emotions and behavior as an adult, that's fine. I'll leave it at that. Oh my God. Right, yeah. Because no one ever was lured into a situation where, somebody managed to coax the, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna. Goading, like the goading. It's goading. There's a big difference between talking to and talking with. Yeah, I guess. I just got to help an old lady in the parking lot. She was probably not that much older than me, but seemed a lot older, and she asked if she could give me a hug. Aw, that is awesome. Doing your little bit. Love it. And this is another reminds me of another conclusion I've come to, which is that like I've literally seen people who could characterize that, oh my god, fuck that old lady for being so needy, or whatever, fuck you for being, so like such an enabler. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they would like. I've literally seen people who will take stuff like that. That on its face, you go, oh, how nice, misgendering old lady. Okay, sleep landing jackass. Bye bye, geek. Have a good one. I hope your stuff pans out. Um. Anyways, there's always gonna be somebody mad about stuff. There's always gonna be somebody who's just looking for a reason to be sour. There's always gonna be somebody, and you certainly can't go about your life trying to please those people. There's the losing battle, huh? So just accepting that that's going to happen. There are going to be people who vehemently disagree with you, even if what you say is not only innocuous, but like nice. there's a good chance that there's going to be at least one person come along and say, yeah, well, fuck you. That's not my bad day that's going on there. Wow, whatever that is not. I was having a good time till you came along. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. So I guess you could boil that down to just not taking responsibility for other people's bad day. You know, like, wow, I don't know what's going on over there, and I'm kind of glad. And that is a legit way of preserving your peace, right? Not that you can't, you know, take on some of the emotional burdens of the people in your life who you supposedly care about. That's different. But certainly, random haters on the internet, their bad day is not my problem. Which, I don't know, is it crazy to say we might almost be moving past that point culturally where it is socially acceptable to expect random strangers to be your own personal emotional dumping ground? Is that possible? Because I would love that. Goodness knows. That would be really nice. I've always thought that was kind of strange, actually. Because apparently, the anonymity of the internet allows people to behave, it'd run wild, basically. All right, I won't waste any more of my time with y'all. Thanks for helping improve my places. All your contributions have been cyclical. Okay. Well, self-centered bias. Yeah. She lost her keys. I helped her find them and stayed with her because I knew she was embarrassed. Aw. It seems we are not moving past that. Like, I mean, collectively. For example, all of us know not to feed the troll, right? All of us are just kind of sitting back and going, that's crazy, I don't feel like any of us really have felt the need to rise to that bait. So that's part of what makes me say that. Also, just some of the discourse I've seen loads of times when people see my posts in trans versus turf debate groups. People DM and try to get me to be their personal gender therapist. Oh, hey, Joan, what up? How you doing? I'm half troll myself, so I might falter. Yay! I'm acquainted with one or two other people who might be that way. I think it's very unhealthy for both the perpetrator and the group at large. And I think that being socially acceptable is on its way out. largely speak, like over the larger pattern, larger term, going nuts over every caping for Tommy Robinson on Twitter. I'll try to feed my human half. Yeah. You're coming to YouTube. Oh, cool. You gonna start making videos again? I don't remember. I'm sorry. Remind me who Tommy Robinson is. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Whoever he is, he doesn't make headlines around here. Did somebody drop a house on you? Oh no. She just left. Did you miss that a minute ago? She was saying that, all we did was reinforce her thesis and, told us to have a nice life, basically. I appreciate getting that wrapped up before 2 o'clock so I don't have to cut her off uh, and be overtly rude, you know. Uh, Also, I think the comparison is insulting to witches. Wicked or otherwise. But at least Tommy knows what a woman is. Oh. Whatever that is, I've missed it and I can't wait to hear about it. Sounds fun. I consider myself half witch too. So you're half human, half troll, and half witch? Nice. Nice. Which half is the witch part? The troll or the human part? It's awful? Well, sometimes awful things can be fun. Depends on what they expose. Running out of halves. Right, yeah. So one of those halves has to be two things. So it's your witch side, your troll side, or your human side? That's the question. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Chase me back into the arms of the lymphams. What? Human came from my nana. Oh, okay, cool. Your Irish nana? Were you the one who said you had the Irish nana? Hmm. Coincidence? Chased you back into the arms of the lymphams. What? What? How can that possibly be? How can that be? What? This is bombshell stuff. I'm not even joking. Not even joking. I'm hooked. Ooh, I'm half woman on my mom's side, half man on my dad's side. Same. Would you believe? Same. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, she was the Catholic Church and said we came from a long line of druids. Nice. 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 Plausible. Not sure if it was satire or not, but I saw one tweet with something like, at least Hamas knows what a woman is. Oh, that's got to be satire. Ouch. Ouch. What that points to me is that, like, we're not even in the fight. That we're not even in reality if we're arguing over what the fuck a woman is. We're not even in the fight. Ouch. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so done with being told I need to have every patience with people sharing anti-immigrant disinformation. Oh, but no patience extended the other way to the lefties. The right-wing shit's come back to haunt us. Yeah. Didn't see that coming. I didn't see that. Oh my god, I saw that coming years ago. It's the left intelligence design. So I joined a local women's group. Tacitly trans exclusive, but it's good. Ironically, the trans inclusive sticker might almost be like having an ADT sticker on your door. It keeps them from trying to break in at all. Because they're going by and they're like, oh, okay, that one's covered. So they don't bother. Same, but I thought it would be. You didn't think it would be this bad? Well, and there's stuff going on in the UK right now that we don't have over here, I know. Well, for one thing, it's a much smaller place. So, I'm really not. I am not equipped factually to speak on what's going on over there with the immigration. I don't know. I don't know why people who obviously have an agenda not to listen expect you to listen to them. Well, because that's their agenda. Is to get you to listen to them. That's why they're not going to listen to you. And they don't see the fucking contradiction there. Or maybe they don't care. Here's tea that I can't share publicly to do with a jerk high up, but also Posey Parker having beef with them a while back. Anyway, I'm gonna peek trans the lip thumbs. Their hearts are in the right place. Really? See, that's exciting. And part of it is you're gonna come back to YouTube. That's great. That's great. Something to look forward to. Mm-mm-mm. It's a kitty. It's a kitty. Oh, he's giving me kisses. Yeah. This is Juniper. Yeah. Mike, tell us you have tea if you won't share. Yeah, right. Gonna keep that tea to yourself. You didn't bring enough for the whole class. So rude. I wasn't watching and thought you said, "Here's a titty." No, 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 no. Not on this channel. No, 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 no. No, no. There is the occasional pussy though. Oh, just sorry. I have hope for this group as there is a turf working there. Won't give more details. Okay. No, no. You're working on something. You're working on something. That's cool. That's cool. Can't wait to hear more about it. It's a good tease. It is. It's good. Nice to feel like you're onto something, isn't it? Yeah, see, Kelly's intrigued as well. So, yeah, yeah. True that. Yeah. Oh, he's giving me the kisses. Oh my god, fur baby. Yeah, this is Juniper. He's our mostly outdoor cat. He goes in and out. The other two pretty much stay inside, but he likes to come out. Yeah. You are so pretty. Say hello to the people. Say hello. Is it true in America you all keep your cats in? No. It is a common thing. House cats, yes. But not all. Not by any means, no. Especially in more rural areas. It's much more common to let them go out. And there are many cats who roam this neighborhood. We have mostly outdoor cats in the country. We call them barn cats. Yeah, right. And he's a mouser. He likes to catch moles and voles and little. Well, and if you want my honest opinion, I don't know that being stuck indoors all the time is necessarily good for them. Like mentally. Not that they don't just lay around for hours outside too. Gotcha. Gotcha. Weirdo. I guess he's gonna go live with our daughter in her apartment though. As soon as they get the deposit over there. Gotta go, but nice to drop in. Nice seeing you. Nice addition. Nice to have you back. Nice seeing you around. Looking forward to hearing the rest of that story. Mm-mm-mm. I gotta go in a few minutes anyway. Because as I say, I've got to get some lunch in me. Been a time. Mm. What's your YouTube channel? I believe her YouTube channel is Joan Dark. It's the same. I believe that's the channel right there. And I believe I'm subscribed too. You haven't, I don't think, posted much for a while, but she has some older stuff on there. You could go and check them out. Not Pa. What? Not posted in months, but hopefully soon. I'm busy with clown stuff. It sounds like you have been busy, but it's going to be really interesting to hear about. Sincerely and truly, just absolutely looking forward to that. Oh, the next few months are just going to be so interesting overall, and it sounds like the UK is ahead of the game on that. So, goddamn. I've been meaning to look into that too. Oh, how frightening, though. Oh, how frightening. I despair of, frankly, really getting a good grasp on what is actually going on over there because I can't fucking go there and find out. So that's frustrating. But because, like, the cultural and political connection between this country and that one is so incredibly obvious and is well established. Like, I've had people ask me, why do you care about UK politics? And I just kind of, why don't you? I don't, I care about mainly, Anglophone politics in general is my top thing. And then, obviously the rest of the world, I do care about them. It's harder to, I only speak one language. But these things are interconnected. That's obvious to me. And I've definitely seen in the last few years frightening trends from Europe and the UK work their way over here. That's definitely happened. All right, it's easy to watch the BBC. Well, yeah. Sadly, not that I necessarily trust them any more than I trust anybody else anymore. To the point where I've seen a couple of things in the last few, recently, the last year or two, where the coverage of stuff was so incredibly biased and slanted that I thought, their government pays for this? If my tax money went to pay for this, I'd be upset right now. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Love you, bye. Scared for the future in it. Yeah. Yeah. But fired up. You know. I'm here for it. Whatever it is, we're gonna take it on. I personally like Piers Morgan. I half ironically, half not. Yeah, right. Like enjoying him and finding him entertaining is not the same thing as agreeing with what he is saying. Oh, hiya. You on the phone? No, I'm doing the live stream. I'm almost done. Oh, sorry. Okay. I will. I was going to tell you about Jamie, but I'll come. Oh, back. Yeah. Okay. Maybe not on live camera. I will say this for Piers Morgan. He's a bellwether. I think he speaks for a lot of guys like him. Right? Which is why he is where he is. Okay. Bye, Joe. I got to run in a minute anyway. Nice hanging with you. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. This is always so much fun. Always so cool. It's gonna be rough to take a whole week off. That's gonna be kind of weird after all this time, but after all this energy, but I need it. I'm sorry, I do. I'm gonna get to work on the book. Yeah. Oh, and go on a nice long walk. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. Going on a nice long walk. So on that note, it is 2:00. Watch this space. I'll be back next week, you guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. Y'all been keeping me hanging in there. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye.